That's all right. No problem. I just want to let you know it's all right. Fair enough. All right, no problem. I'll see you soon. Okay. Cheers. Yeah. Wait for me, I'll be right there.
2013, more than 4,800 men took their own lives. In 2013, 4,800 men committed suicide. Men are 3 times more likely to commit suicide than women. Nearly half of all men aged 18 to 45 say they've considered ending their own lives. And the problem is getting worse. The suicide rate in men is now at its highest level since 1981.
Mental ill health accounts for 22% of NHS workload, but only gets 11% of its expenditure. It results in 70 million sick days a year. That's the leading cause of employee absence, and the overall cost to the UK is estimated to be £100 billion a year.
The population in the UK as of June last year was 64.6 million people, but that's estimated to grow by almost 10 million to just over 74 million during the next 25 years. That's like adding the entire populations of Birmingham and London on top. Just over half of the population increase is expected to come from net migration. That's the difference between people leaving and people arriving here from other countries. But we're also living longer. At the moment, 1 in 21 people is aged 80 or over. But by 2039, that's expected to be 1 in 12.
Well, Minnie Stevenson is with me, and Minnie, this saga just goes on and on.
It does, it does. Just when you thought the whole Top Gear row had gone away, it rumbles on. Now, the Irish producer, Oisin Timon, who was attacked by Jeremy Clarkson in March, is now suing the presenter and the BBC. Now, the BBC are not saying very much. They're suing them for racial discrimination. They haven't said very much at this stage, but they have released a short statement, which I can read to you now. It says, "We will be responding to this claim, but we will not be commenting further at this time." Now, Oisin has met with lawyers from both sides, from the BBC, from Clarkson, and he could be suing for over £100,000. So we've been talking to an employment lawyer about what all that means.
If the case is proved, Jeremy Clarkson will be paying thousands of pounds in compensation. What we don't know, and it's impossible to know at this stage, is whether the producer cannot find any work now. If he's unemployed for an extended period of time, then that will be an additional claim on top of the injury to feelings claim against Jeremy Clarkson. So that row, which started with a state dinner and ended up costing Jeremy Clarkson his job of 27 years, looks like it won't be going away anytime soon.
Good evening. Here are the headlines from 5 News. A 16-year-old has died after being stabbed at a school in Aberdeen. The boy, who's been named as Bailey Gwynn, was killed this lunchtime at the Cults Academy. Police have launched a murder investigation. Another teenage boy is being questioned. Scotland Yard scaled back the number of officers investigating the disappearance of Madeleine McCann to 4. At the height of the investigation, 29 worked on the search. Madeleine's parents say they fully understand the decision. And the British grandfather sentenced to a public flogging in Saudi Arabia is being allowed home. Carl Andre was threatened with 350 lashes for breaking the country's strict alcohol laws, but is being released after the Defence Secretary Philip Hammond flew out to appeal the case. That's all for now. I'll be back tomorrow lunchtime. Have a lovely evening.
Hello, welcome to 5 News. A British man has been confirmed among those killed in last night's terror attacks in Paris, with fears there could be a handful of UK casualties. Nick Alexander was working at the Bataclan concert hall when it came under attack. His family have described him as generous, funny and fiercely loyal. 129 people are now known to have died in the attacks, with more than 350 injured, after the 8 gunmen working in 3 separate teams brought chaos to the French capital. Now working to identify the perpetrators, police say one was a French national, while a Syrian passport was found near to the body of another. As 3 men were arrested in Brussels in connection with the attacks tonight, in a show of solidarity, landmarks around the world were lit up in the colours of the French flag. And we're back with the latest from Paris tomorrow. Until then, bye-bye.